Hey guys, this is Kyoku and welcome to my channel. So, on this channel, this is obviously a new channel and I'm going to be covering kind of all stuff like murders and true crime and unsolved mysteries and that kind of stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, then please subscribe and drop me a like if you do like this video. So, getting straight to it. Today I am going to be covering the case of Kenneka Jenkins. So before I begin, I just kind of wanted to put a little bit of a disclaimer out there just to say that I don't mean any disrespect to any of the victims, family. I apologise if I get any of the facts wrong. This is just what I found, obviously doing my research on the internet and from obviously talking with forums and that kind of thing. So I don't mean any disrespect by anything that I say today. So let's get straight into it. So Kenneka Jenkins was obviously one of your typical teenage girls. She was only 19 years old. As typical a 19-year-old would do, they get invited to a party. So I think she was actually celebrating something. I think she got a new job. And so obviously when you get a new job, especially when you're 19, you're like stoked. So it's like, let's go out, let's party, let's get drunk, all that good stuff. So she went to a party at the Crown Plaza. And it was kind of like one of those parties where somebody hires a room and then everybody kind of piles in the room, like bring your own alcohol. I think some people were doing drugs there, which is, teenagers do that kind of stuff, so I'm not one to judge. So yeah, so they all went to this party at the Crown Plaza. I do not believe that she actually told her mum where she was going, which again, typical teenager behaviour. I mean, I was lucky enough to have like more of a kind of open relationship with my mum, so I always told her where we were going. So unfortunately in this case she did not tell her mum where she was going. So there are a lot of videos out there from this party that people were uploading from Facebook and Snapchat and that kind of thing. I will play some of them so that you can see them. But there's a lot of rumours around this case, so obviously we will get to more of them at the end of this, but the videos from the party are what started some of these rumours. So there are a lot of people that say that they can hear in some of these videos Kenneka actually saying help me. I've listened to them and I personally can't hear it. Whether that's just me or not, I don't know, but I can't hear it. There is a video as well around there about somebody that's saying that we're gonna do a murder tonight, but I think it's kind of like the type of people that were at the party was kind of like, I think it might have been gang members, that type of people. There's a lot of rumours around it, but I don't want to say for sure, but that is what is said in one of the videos. But obviously that doesn't prove anything. So then Kenneka and her friends decide that they want to leave this party and go home. So there is a video of them walking to the elevator and Kenneka seems fine at this point. She doesn't seem overly intoxicated and they're all walking to this elevator. And then they realise that Kenneka's stuff is still at the party, so it's still in the room in the party. So this is kind of red flag number one for me. So then they leave Kenneka at this elevator and all of her other friends go back to get her stuff. Like, rule number one when you go out with girls is you all stick together. You stick together. So why they just all went back and left her there, I don't know. I mean, looking at the CCTV footage from then, she doesn't look too drunk then, but still, why did they go back to get her stuff? Why doesn't she go with them to get her? Sorry, my cat's here. Why don't they go with her to get her stuff? Why would you say, oh, my stuff is still in the party. Okay, well you wait here and we'll go get it. Just does not make any sense to me, but I don't know. I know that when people are drunk, like sometimes you just don't think logically, but never leave your friends. Promise me, you will not leave your friends. When girls are out together, they have to stick together. That's so important. Because that could have literally stopped everything that happened this night. So they go back to the party to get her stuff. And then when they return, Kenneka is gone. So they cannot find her. So her friends obviously start to panic. They are looking all around the hotel, and they search all of the floors. They go and ask at reception if anyone has seen her. There is kind of a video out there where you can't hear what they're saying, but they're talking to the people at the reception, and they kind of point over as if to say, I don't know if anyone says that they've seen her in that direction or to have a look in that direction. So they go and have a look. They do look at kind of one of the lower floors, but there are some areas there that are restricted for staff members only, so they don't go into those areas. They should have gone into those areas. So after they've been like super panicking, looking everywhere, they decide, okay, maybe we should call her mum. Maybe she's gone home, maybe she was drunk, she didn't think they were coming back, and we'll call her mum to see if she's gone home. So they ring up her mum, and she's not gone home. She has not gone home. So her mum is really annoyed because obviously she didn't know she was going a party, and she's worrying because she's like, okay, her friends are calling saying that we haven't seen her for hours, so where is she? So then her mum drives down to the hotel. She helps them look around, so everybody is searching for her. They're searching all the floors, they're banging on hotel room doors, asking if anyone's seen her. They then cannot find her. So they go to reception, and they ask at reception, look, I can see that they've got some CCTV cameras. Can we just check to see where she's gone? My daughter, she's only 19 and she's been missing, and I'm really worried about her and I really want to find her. So the hotel were not helpful. They were not helpful at all. So they basically said, look, we can't check the security cameras unless it's a missing person or a police matter, which I'm not really sure is true. I personally have never worked in a hotel, but it would seem a little bit unhelpful in my opinion. Surely it just takes 2 minutes to go and get the footage, but I don't know. I don't work in security, so I can't say for sure. So, because they are getting zero help from the hotel at this point, Kenneka's mum is really, really worried about her, and she knows her daughter. She knows that she is not the type of person that would just walk off. So she decides, okay, let's call the police, because I just don't know where she is. Something awful could have happened to her. So let's see if they will help us, and then they can get them to have a look at the security cameras. And the police are less than helpful, to say the least. So I will play this phone call, and you can make of it what you want to make of it. But I'm just saying, there is no law that a person has to be missing for a certain amount of time before you report them as a missing person. So I'm from the UK, but I have spoken to people in America, and they've said that this law does not exist. So I will play this video now.
911, where's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I'm at the Crown Plaza at O'Hare Airport, and I was calling because my daughter came to to a party here last night, a gathering with her friends, and now her friends, they say that they left on the front of the hotel, and she's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old.
And you said that this, and you said the Crown Plaza at O'Hare Airport?
Yes. Yes, and they said that when her friends was asking earlier today, like about 4 o'clock in the morning, because they run the video cameras, they said that they didn't have no camera. But now I came, and it was a lady, she said that she heard music, and she asked me that I want to go upstairs, and we went upstairs on the 11th floor, and it was someone came to the room, and she said that she did see my daughter there with a group of girls and a couple of guys. But that's all she just saw, because she was busy trying to get reception on her phone.
All right, well then, you know what? Are you sure you don't mean the Crown Plaza in Rosemont?
Yes, yes it is. I'm sorry, the Crown Plaza in Rosemont. That's exactly where it's at. I'm
okay,
so sorry.
No, it's okay. And have you and you said you spoke with the
front desk. I'm sitting outside right in front of the hotel in their parking lot right now.
And they were saying that they haven't seen your daughter since she left, or?
No, this is a different set. This is a different it's a new shift, and they said that they haven't seen her. Well, of course they wouldn't have seen her, because this is like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I just seen that she was here because I just found the ticket where they entered this hotel. It was at 1:36 p.m. Well, hold on, this is not her ticket, because this is on the 6th. My daughter wasn't here on the 6th.
Okay, and you know, real quick, I'm just gonna see if maybe I'm gonna see if maybe she was here at all. What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Kenneka Jenkins.
All right, and could you spell her?
The room wasn't registering her name. She came with some friends here.
No, yeah, I just want to verify. I'm about to say I actually just came in myself. Probably been on shift for about 45 minutes, so I just want to make sure that, you know, maybe she didn't get arrested and sent on her. You know what I mean? I just want to double check everything. But
okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. But it doesn't look like we had any run-ins with her last night at all. Do you think it's possible maybe she went to one of her friends' houses, or, you know, she's probably...
No, actually, because she had my car. She was driving my car. She know I don't like nobody to drive my car because my insurance will not pay for nobody, no one besides her. And her friends kept calling my phone. I told them to stay out here. They stayed out here they called me like about 3-something in the morning. I was laying in the bed. I just had breast surgery. I fought deep breast cancer. So I'm, sedated off medication early. And they telling me she out here. So once I rejuvenated, to strengthen myself enough to get up and drive out here to look for her. Once they brought me my car, I came right out here. And I came to the hotel, and I showed them a picture of her, and I asked them did they see it. And there was a lady in the lobby, and she heard me asking at the front desk, and she said it was music. She did hear music. She called the one downstairs to report the room, and come to find out it was the people next door. And when we knocked on the door, that person said that she did see my daughter downstairs with, it was like 4 of them, and it was 4 of them. And she said my daughter, she was with 3 of her friends, but her 3 friends said, which then, these kids won't tell the truth. They said that they went upstairs to get her cell phone. And when they went to get her cell phone, she was standing in the lobby, in the front lobby. And then when they came back down, she wasn't there anymore.
No, I completely understand.
East of Jarva Entryway,
the one issue we have, and it's not necessarily that it's an issue, but she is an adult. She is 19 years old, and I mean, as of right now,
she's 19 years old. That's my daughter. She's 19. Her name Kenneka Jenkins, Kenneka.
No, yes. No, I remember that. You told me that she was 19. But what I'm saying is that she, again, she's only been gone for a couple hours. She's, I don't know, maybe she's, she could be somewhere with one of her friends or something, because, I mean, it is only a couple hours since you hadn't seen her, correct? Or since her friends supposedly hadn't seen her?
Correct. Let's say about 3 to 4 hours now, they said. They told me. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning when they called me.
Yeah. Well, I guess the one. Are you looking to file a missing persons report then, or are you just? Or would you? I'm sorry. Go on ahead.
I'm so sorry, sir, but I just want to know: is it possible that maybe they can look at the cameras and see? It's because they send the police out here and ask them to look at the cameras and see if they've seen her on their cameras around that time.
I was about to say, even if I did send an officer, it would take a little bit in order for us to get the camera footage and for us to pass it on to the detectives division.
Okay. So what would you suggest?
Well, again, the only thing I would suggest maybe just give her a couple hours. She could have went somewhere with one of her other friends. I mean, and who knows what her friends are saying is true. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You could tell, not to be saying, you could tell it don't sound right. I'm a parent. I've been young before, and it's not sounding right. It don't sound right. Period. That's why I came out here myself, because and then it sounded like they had been drinking. Honestly.
Yeah.
And I asked them, did she drink? And they said she had only 1 cup. But, okay, my daughter ain't the type that normally, she can't even take liquor. Her liquor level is just like mine. We can't take liquor. We cannot take liquor. We take a sip of liquor, we drunk. Honestly.
No, I completely understand.
And I'm like, 1 cup is too much for her, you know. And like I asked them, and then they end up with her cell phone. I pay her cell phone bill every month to make sure my daughter has a phone. How did she love her phone? I don't understand why would she leave her cell phone with you all and just go disappear? And she know I just had surgery. You know, she know my predicament.
No, yeah. Well then, so that in that case, what I would recommend, just go home, relax a little bit, give it some time. Of all we know, she very well could still be in the room. She could just be passed out. Again, you know how it is. You drink it the night before, you get, you know what I mean, whatever else have you. So just give it a couple hours. Maybe see if she'll get a hold of you again. You know what I mean? Does she know your number?
Yes, she know my number very well. She's very smart.
Okay, well then, like I said, just give her a couple hours. You know what I mean? Give her some time. Again, maybe she went to one of her other friends' places, or maybe she is still in the room. Just knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yes, I thank you. Okay, and so how long does it take for me to file a missing person report?
Well, you can file it at any time. It just, like I said, just give it a little bit of time. If you hadn't heard from her by, I want to say about 10, 11 o'clock, then by all means, give us a call again. You can come to the station, and we can help you out from there.
Okay, I live in Chicago. Would it be better for me to come back to you all station, or should I go in Chicago and make out a missing report?
I think you can try to file it out in Chicago. They may tell you to come here since it happened in our town, but I do know that since she lives with obviously she lives with you in the city, I think this might actually fall on them. Or at least they'll be able to take the report, and then they'll get in contact with us, and we'll be able to help them out with the investigation from there.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter, whichever one. If I have to come back out here, I'll come back out here. But as long as if we be able to see, if I come, okay, I give it to tomorrow. It's 24 hours. After 24 hours, do you think they'll still be able to see the video camera of today, the surveillance camera for today?
Yes, we'd definitely be able to. We'd definitely be able to get the footage.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll do that. Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
The police are not helpful. They're making presumptions about her, telling basically, oh, she's probably sleeping it off somewhere, when you know your own daughter, you know if she's sleeping it off or not. So come on, guys, let's be real. So they are not helpful at all. So Kenneka's mum and her friends are not taking no for an answer. They want to find her. They are worried about her. So they are banging on doors. They are going in and out of the hotel, running around all of the rooms, trying to find her because you're panicked and you're worried. It's been hours at this point. Like, who would not be concerned at this point? So the police do come eventually, but not to help. They come, I think, because one of the friends, I don't know if it was the friends or the mum, set off the fire alarm, which I think was such a good idea, because then if Kenneka was in the building and they set off the fire alarm, then everybody's got to come outside, so they will see her come outside. I'm not sure if they do it or if they try to do it, but then the hotel actually phones the police and no one says, obviously they're causing a scene, which, who wouldn't? I know I would. So then at this point the police come down. Obviously they're talking to them, they're trying to calm them down, which obviously they're just getting more and more frantic and more worried at this point. Eventually, the next day, a missing persons report is filed because obviously she still hasn't been found yet. I think at this point when the missing persons report was filed, she'd been missing for about 22 hours. So that is a long time, and as you know, if you watch a lot of kind of true crime cases and unsolved cases, the first couple of hours from when you go missing are the most crucial for collecting evidence, trying to find out what's happened. So the fact that the police in the hotel was so unhelpful in this case just absolutely baffles me, and I think if from the start they would have just checked the frigging cameras, they would have found her, maybe she would have been alive today. Obviously you can't pass blame here because nobody really knows what happened, but it would have helped them find out. So the next day, Kenneka unfortunately is found, and she has passed away, she is found in the big lock-in freezer on, I think it's like the underground floor at the hotel. So the way this kind of freezer is, it's one of those freezers where there's kind of a big heavy door that you have to open, and then you walk in, and then obviously the door can close behind you, but there is an emergency button in there for you to press. But then obviously if you are drunk, then maybe you are not going to find this button. And the video that we see before, when her friends leave her, she's not really that drunk. But then there is some footage of her walking around this lower floor and walking through the kitchen, and she is messed up. Like, she's messed up. She is bouncing off the walls, she's grabbing the railing to hold herself. Like, I've been drunk before, but I've probably only been drunk like that once, and I genuinely thought I'd been spiked that night. So whether she'd had something else to drink, I don't know. So Kenneka's friends said that she only had 1 or 2 cups, but then obviously, as we heard earlier, Kenneka's mum says that she is a lightweight and kind of gets drunk really easily, so I don't know if that's why. Also in the autopsy, they did find that she was on some other medication as well, so that could have gone in to why she was acting this drunk or could not walk, but we will go into that more in a minute. Right. So obviously, Kenneka's mum is told about this. She's absolutely distraught. There is a video out there of her, and you can hear her kind of like screaming about how upset she is. I'm not going to play that because it is really, really heartbreaking. But then when they kind of take her to show Kenneka, so when her body is found, her top is actually pulled up and one of her shoes, I believe, is off. So if you have frozen to death in a freezer, why were you getting undressed was one of kind of the main issues with this case. However, when you do look at kind of hypothermia and how your body reacts to it, when you are kind of in the late stages of hypothermia, your body can actually trick you into thinking you're hot. So while you're actually literally freezing to death, your body kind of goes into this mode where it thinks you're hot, so you start to take off your clothes because you think you're overheating. So that could be what's happened here. So I think that part of it is quite easily explained. They did find as well when they did the autopsy that she actually had an injury on her ankle, which could have been from how she was walking. Obviously, if you see the video, I will play the video. So you can see in that video, like, it's quite easy that she could have injured her ankle there. Obviously when you go out drinking, I'm sure most of us girls have fell over on our ankle, twisted our ankle before. I don't think that is anything that is kind of uncommon in my opinion. All that they did kind of show, they did show that they did have another drug in her system, and watch me botch the name of this. So I think it is called Dipramate. So obviously I'm not a doctor, I don't know that much about it. I know that people can use it for fat loss, but a lot of Kenneka's friends and Kenneka's mum were saying that she was drugged because this was not something that they were aware that she had taken. However, I mean, she was 19 years old, so she could have easily have had this medication prescribed. I think it can help with anxiety and things like that. Don't quote me, I could be wrong, as I say, I'm not a doctor. But she could quite easily get prescriptions without her mum or her friends knowing, so I don't really think that has much standing in my opinion. But then again, you were at a party, unfortunately it's not uncommon for people to be drugged, so that could have been the case there also. Another thing that people have found weird, which is what I really do find weird, is this was a big freezer, so when you are so drunk that you can't stand up, how have you got the strength to open this door? I mean, whether she was kind of disorientated and thought it was the door to outside because she could feel the cold. I know sometimes if you are that messed up, you probably can't see properly. So I'm just struggling to see how she was able to open the door and then close it behind her. I mean, does the door automatically close behind you? I have no idea, but that does seem like a big heavy door for somebody that intoxicated to be able to open, in my opinion. So, that's pretty much the basics of the case. Now, there are a lot of rumours around this case. Some of them I think are a little bit out there. Like, I think the one that I think was the most ridiculous was that Selena Gomez needed, I think it was a kidney transplant, so they actually sold her organs on the black market. However, when they did the autopsy, she didn't have anything missing, so I have no idea where that came from, but you know how the internet gets. So, as I was saying, so they're saying that they could see like a hand kind of like grab her from the side and kind of pull her back, but I'm not convinced. I will play the clip now. So it's that bit when she's walking around the corner, but I just think it's kind of the way that it's pixelated, where it's kind of literally her just blending in with the wall, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I personally can't see another person there. There are a lot of rumours which are really kind of out there, which I won't touch on, but you can find most of them are on Reddit. It's probably the best place to look if you want to have a look at some of the really out there rumours. My personal opinion on this case is that it's probably just a case of a really tragic accident of a girl that had too much to drink. Whether she got drugged or not, I don't know. But then it does seem like she did just walk into a freezer, and obviously she was so messed up, she was so drunk, she didn't know where she would go in, and then sadly did pass away from hypothermia. The only thing that doesn't really sit right with me is the fact that her friends left her. I just can't see the logic behind it, and it really bugs me. Like, I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but like, you just wouldn't. Like, even if it was one of the other girls' stuff that was in there, that would kind of make more sense to me, but the fact that it was her stuff that they went back to get just baffles me. I just don't understand. But anyway, the only other weird thing is that if you look at the reviews for this hotel, there are some really shady reviews about people having keys to different rooms and people just walking in their room when they've stayed there. Other people have kind of just reported that they've had like weird experiences there, so I don't know if that leads to anything else or if that doesn't really prove anything at all. But yeah, so sorry it was a bit kind of all over the place. Obviously this is my first video and I will try my best to get better for next time. If you've got any cases that you particularly want me to cover for the next one, then comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know what you think of this case. Was it just a tragic accident, which is obviously heartbreaking, or was there kind of something more sinister to it? What do you guys think? So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.